co-founder and executive chairwoman of Mozilla, Mitchell Baker.
Thank you. It's my honor to welcome you. This is an exciting moment. It's exciting for Mozilla to have a chance to show you what we're doing and what's in the works. It's also an exciting moment for innovation and opportunity in mobile. Mozilla is working with our partners and our local communities to build an open alternative in the mobile environment. Many of us are familiar with an open system. We call it the web. Mozilla and our partners are working to take the openness, freedoms, and power of the web and to meld them with the devices, the touch features, and the app models that people love in the mobile environment. It's important today to have an open and interoperable system. And as we go forward and more types of devices are connected, interoperability and open systems will be ever more important. Thus, Firefox OS. And with Firefox OS, we and our partners have challenged ourselves to bring this rich experience and sense of possibility to all price points. So we have challenged ourselves to start with affordable devices and move from there. Not because it's easy. Affordable devices are not easy. In fact, they're very challenging. And so we have challenged ourselves to make sure that Firefox OS, as a robust system, works well in affordable devices and then moves other places. So you'll see a range of devices here. Many of them are on the highly affordable end of the spectrum. So in a few moments, when we invite you to walk around and see the devices and touch them and get to know them yourselves, imagine, for many of these devices, that the phone in your pocket is a feature phone. And imagine that as you go to buy one of these devices, every euro is precious to you. And I think when you look at the experience and the richness and the power that we are able to offer to this set of the market, you'll be astonished. And then imagine, having proved the power and robustness of the system on these devices, where we can go from there. And you'll see some examples of newer devices in different price points. And just imagine when we are able to have affordable devices, expensive devices, all interoperable with a great experience and the power of the web and the flexibility behind them. That's our goal. Thank you.
Would you please join me in welcoming to the stage Chief Operating Officer and Acting Chief Executive Officer of Mozilla, Jay Sullivan.
Hey, thanks for coming and for kicking off your cool mobile congress with us here on Sunday night. Cool. You know, in this very room 1 year ago, we got on stage with a bunch of interested parties who wanted to make the mobile environment better for individuals. Forward-leaning companies like Telefonica, Deutsche Telekom, Qualcomm, Telenor, TIM, many others. And we talked about a promise. We committed to bring Firefox OS devices to market in 2013. And I'm happy to say that we delivered on that promise. In July, we launched our first phone in Spain with Movistar. Now, since then, we ended up launching 3 different devices with 3 different OEMs. And we ended up launching in 15 markets, focused on Latin America and Eastern Europe. Because as Mitchell said, our goal is to bring people online with a web-like experience, something that's open, choice, competition, and innovation. So we've exceeded our expectations for what we set out to do in 2013. One of the things that's very important to us was the user experience. And we focused on the user experience for folks in emerging markets, people who are moving from feature phone to their first smartphone. We wanted an experience that was elegant, that gave them the social experiences they love, like Twitter and Facebook, and brought them online with the Firefox OS browser and a marketplace full of amazing applications. But we went beyond that. As you saw in the video, we designed something really innovative that combines the best of apps, their ease of use, finger friendliness, and what's best about the web, the fact that you can search for any piece of content and instantly get access to it. And we've created an amazing experience that I hope you'll check out as you go look at the different demos. From a technical point of view, when we set out on this project in the middle of 2011, there were doubters, there were skeptics about what we could do with HTML as an environment for creating amazing mobile applications. Now, Mozilla led the way by creating what we call web APIs. APIs that put the power of everything a modern smartphone can do into the hands of developers with simple JavaScript. And as we've done that, and those APIs are becoming standard on the web as a whole has improved. And developers have been able to begin developing the apps of their dreams using HTML. So HTML5 on mobile is here to stay, and I'm proud to say that Mozilla and the partners that joined us led the way in making that happen. So that was 2013, and I think this quote from IDC summarizes it very well. Firefox OS is poised to give the world an alternative that is in line with Mozilla's values and put users at the center of the experience. So that's 2013, a little progress report. Let's talk about where we're going from now. Let's talk about the future. First, I want to talk about some new devices. ZTE is increasing its investment in Firefox OS. They're creating the ZTE Open 2, which is the successor to their first Firefox OS device, which was the ZTE Open. And they're also creating the Open C, which is starting to move up into the middle tier. And you'll see demonstrations of these products and all the spec sheets and the information that you want to see about CPU and memory and that kind of stuff. That'll be available to you as you kind of work your way around. Alcatel OneTouch, also increasing its commitment. They're bringing to market 4 more devices in the early part of 2014. The OneTouch Fire C, the Fire E, the Fire S, so 3 different smartphones with a range of capabilities, as well as a tablet, the Fire 7. So Alcatel OneTouch has been a great member of the coalition bringing Firefox OS into the world, again, increasing their investment. You'll also see here today, Huawei is bringing to market the Y300, Huawei's first Firefox OS device. This is also the year that you're going to see Firefox OS begin to appear in other forms. And this is really due to the power of open source. You know, Mozilla has really been focused on the entry-level smartphone market, because we believe that the people coming online for the first time and coming online from feature phones, we believe that that's the market that we think is very important, and we've been putting a lot of our resources there. But because we're an open source project, we've seen organizations like Panasonic and Foxconn and VIA take the code and begin to work with it and adapt it. So Panasonic announced at CES that they're adapting it for smart TVs to power their future smart TVs. VIA building PCs and tablets. Foxconn making a large investment in Firefox OS and even created a program to put tablets in the hands of the developers to collaborate on building the OS itself as well as building applications for it. So we're able to scale participation through openness and transparency and the working model we have. Let's talk about where we're going with the OS itself. As I talked about, one of the big differentiators is this idea that you can look for a piece of content and the apps that have that content magically appear and you can use them. No searching the App Store, no installs. You get what you want when you want it. Our goal is to make that experience even richer by incorporating search of the web to find apps that are relevant, and also searching the device to find places you've been before. In the world of native apps, it's hard to search inside of applications from the device because they all store their data in different ways. Because Firefox OS apps are of the web, they can be indexed locally, and we can do a universal search that's going to put all that stuff together. So you're going to get innovation in areas where others simply cannot go because the web is the way it is. We're also focused on enabling differentiation for our partners. Cool. So if you're an OEM or a network operator, and you want to participate by building over-the-top services, by customizing the home screen, adding different apps like customer care and things like that, the building blocks that make up Firefox OS and the fact that it uses simple web technology makes it very easy to differentiate. And also, as we've been moving forward, our performance and the polish is getting better and better every day. So you'll see Firefox OS start to feel really sleek and smooth and high performance. We'll also be moving into new markets. So as we mentioned earlier, we have Firefox OS in 15 markets today. Over the next several months, we're going to add 12 new markets. Telefonica is adding 8 countries with Firefox OS. Deutsche Telekom has announced 4 new countries. And there's others that we're not announcing today that will come later. And then later in the year, we're going to have a large focus on Africa and on Asia. So the initial 12 countries beyond the 15 we already have, to a total of 27, that's just in the first part of the year. So as you can see, the momentum is there. Firefox OS has taken hold, and the footprint will grow as we go throughout the year. We didn't do this alone. As Mitchell said earlier, and as I mentioned in the beginning, many in the ecosystem want to see an open alternative. It's not enough to have 2 operating systems in the world that are dominating. And we also want to apply the principle of the web as a layered stack where there's competition at every layer, not a vertically integrated silo. And the partners who have joined the project share our vision of the openness of the web and the benefits it has for innovation, choice, and user control over their online experience. So many of these partners joined us last year and have either launched or are working toward a launch. And we're also adding new partners. Telkomsel, Indosat, and Vodafone are also supporters of the Firefox OS Open Web Device Initiative. I'm going to talk about apps for a moment. I talked about what we call our adaptive app search, this idea of delivering apps right at the point of need. We also have a marketplace. Users are used to having an app store where they can go to find apps that they like. And we have many of the most popular apps, and we've had them since day one. Apps like Twitter, Facebook, Here Maps, we have YouTube. And I wanted to highlight today some of the partners that are in the room today and will be exhibiting at our booth this week. All of these guys have built amazing applications, and it would be great for you guys to take a look at them and see what's possible with HTML5 if you haven't seen some of these apps in action. I'd like to make one other announcement today, which is PhoneGap support for Firefox OS. Now, PhoneGap is a technology, it's based on the Apache Cordova project, that enables developers to build their apps in HTML5 and then generate from that an Android app and an iOS app. But the core of these apps are HTML5. And PhoneGap is adding support to also generate a Firefox OS app. Now that gets us hundreds of thousands of developers who are using the PhoneGap technology. So this is a great partnership with PhoneGap, and it's going to bring more developers into the fold who are already developing with HTML5. We're also going to show you tonight the Firefox OS Flame. Now this is a reference phone that will be available online anywhere in the world. It's quad band, so you'll be able to use it in many countries. And it also lets the developer tune the phone to test various conditions. So this is pretty neat. So for example, so this comes with a gig of memory. But many Firefox OS phones are going to have 256 meg of memory. This lets you tune that and then test your apps. So a pretty amazing device, and it's going to start to show you the power of Firefox OS. It's going to make it easier for developers to build and debug and test their applications. So you can check this out at some of the stands here tonight. What we're all about is bringing people online and giving them an online life that respects them, their privacy, and security. So Tonight, I'm announcing something that's pretty exciting for Mozilla, and I think it's going to be exciting to people all over the world who want to get online. It's a $25 smartphone. I'd like to invite up Dr. Leo Lee, the CEO and chairman of Spreadtrum, who we've partnered with to create this $25 smartphone. Come on up. Thanks for joining us. It's so exciting.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And do you have one? I have one on me right now. Cool. I took his phone. Cool. So this is $25 smartphone. Spreadtrum is a fabless chipset manufacturer based in Shanghai, and they specialize in creating reference designs and turnkey designs, and those turnkey designs enable manufacturers to very quickly design, build, and ship phones into market. And the efficiency that Spreadtrum brings to the process is going to enable, I believe, a flood of $25 smartphones. Now, there are actually three different versions, three different chipsets that Spreadtrum is putting into the world. And they have a range of capabilities. And you'll be able to see the spec sheets on these. You know, this is the SC8621, which is the entry-level model. It's an Edge GPRS radio, but it does have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and other advanced features. And then the other two chipsets simply move up the stack. One adds WCDMA, for example. The point of all this is, you know, we're trying to bring people online, and there are many people who are going to move from a feature phone to a smartphone in the next couple of years. And many people who never even had a feature phone are going to come online as well. So Mozilla, in partnership with Spreadtrum, and many of our other partners, a few of whom I want to name right now because they've been so amazing in their support of this project. Telefonica, Deutsche Telekom, Telenor, Telecom Italia, ZTE, Alcatel, LG, Huawei, Qualcomm. Many of the devices you saw earlier are all powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon chipsets. So we've got Spreadtrum and Qualcomm both adding a lot to the program. We also have been working very closely with KDDI, and Sony is continuing to partner with us as well. So we have a great set of partners bringing Firefox phones to market, and I want to thank all of those partners. And I want to thank you for your attention. Now enjoy the demos and everything we've talked about here tonight. So thank you very much.